Hello, hello. How are you today? Okay. So I will open comments. So guys, yeah, there is some just happy Sunday, guys. Yeah, guys, so slowly join. Lena, don't worry, will not be many people, so it's just cozy company, right, guys? So you can, guys, release your congratulations as well. Not only questions, but I know they're normally very curious about different things. So first of all, I want to say you thank you for joining us today, because I feel this industry, with how bad things going on, really need good, inspiring, positive stories of of guys, because there's so many bad things. When guys just start to research this topic, they can be like, or no, so many bad things going on, that they maybe give up, even don't start, because they don't want to stuck in this, to go through bad experience. So yeah, that's why I'm very grateful that you do this interview today, especially together. This is very rarely case when couple come together. Yeah, and I hope this is will help guys to get encouragement, and to get real from you guys experience, real tips on how to be successful, and what challenges you need to prepare for. Okay, so what there is uh, one change his good morning guys. So yeah, first I want to just open this live stream from that mark, conquer heart, not only Elena heart, but all our team heart. Yeah, I remember how start story with Mark, when he just become client, and it was New Year Eve, and he sent gifts to our children, and then sent candies to our matchmakers, to Kiev, and everybody was so much like, really so attentive and nice man. Everybody so much impressed, because actually I think you was the first who've done that, like
Right.
being a client and being so attentive. And we understand this man knows how to treat women. So я рассказываю, Марк нам выслал просто детям вот эти красочки, а матчмейкеру Татьяне там конфетки на Новый год. И мы все поняли, что Марк будет успешен, потому что он знает, как обращаться с женщинами. Yeah, this is part of your beautiful part of your soul, of your personality, and I think this is, I don't know, I think this is big key of your success. That you know how to treat people, and you really you really do this. Not just know, but really do. And this what guys can learn from from you. Yeah. So, Mark, where do you live? Because guys don't know you. And how old are you?
I'm in the UK. And I hate to admit I'm 50 next month.
It's okay, Mike. I always say I'm very optimistic about me being 50.
Mhm.
I think in different age there is different,
Yeah.
pleasant things. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have the bad bad opportunity that my birthday was the day that war broke out. So that's a good
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. So, and what you do for a living?
Uh, I'm sort of I'm teaching. I teach sort of privately, mainly in sport. But I did used to teach in, as we would say in UK, in a college, and I did teach in primary school for a short while as well.
Okay. So you have students, yeah? You work
Yeah.
with children or with adult
At the moment, I'm mainly teaching children,
children?
juniors. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's help you in relationship with with children, generally speaking. Yeah,
Yeah.
you love children. This because if you don't like children, you cannot have this profession.
No.
I believe so. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. So I just want to know, because I really don't know, if you have any bad experience before us, before Match Guarantee.
Yes,
You have also.
like a lot. Yeah, yeah,
Really? A
yeah.
lot?
A fair, fair bit. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Without knowing the companies, just like, can you just give like total amount, and this is what's like paper letter, or what was that?
It was all PPL.
PPA.
All
Mm-hmm.
PPL. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not as much as some guys, but
Mm-hmm.
enough.
Mm-hmm.
Enough. So
And the scary part that you really perceive that this is real, right? When you in, you just don't
yeah,
understand. This is so professional,
yeah,
manipulative,
yeah. So
very
so well
educated.
done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're quite crafty and quite clever
Mm-hmm.
uh, to sort of to hook you in.
Yeah,
Very
and
clever.
hmm and the problem that I see very often with guys who, it's not like one thing when it's just like super old man chatting with 23 years old girl, this is one thing. But I know a lot of guys who was using PPL, and they was talking to like, the same age of woman, or like 5 years younger or something, being completely realistic and thinking this is real, and
Yeah,
then at the end of the day have frustrated, because the model of it's not the model of those website, it's not their purpose not of creating couples. That's a thing,
yeah.
that's
Just
one.
money.
Yeah, it's a business for them. So yeah, so you see, I'm happy that you finally somehow find us. Yeah. And yeah, that's your story change from, and this is another good thing, even if you had bad experience, guys, if you had and then you give up, there is no chance that you can change the story to positive, right, Mark?
Yeah,
It's very important, right, to give yourself second chance and just choose, do your homework and choose
yeah,
very carefully.
yeah. I thought I'd done homework enough, and I thought I knew I could spot them, and no, it didn't work out like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
but if you go to the right place, it's better because uh, I've been watching your videos on YouTube for a while, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and taking hints and tips of what to look out for.
Uh-huh.
You know, did that, uh, and I got in touch with Joe. Oh, it must have been, I can't remember. I got in touch with Joe about something, and we got talking, and that's how he was saying, no, 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 it's a scam. It's definitely a scam,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and that. So more or less from there on, it was like stop, no more. And I just stopped using it. It was hard, but yeah, I just stopped using them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great that you. It's also I see that guys, when they do this paper letter, they invest. The sad thing that
Mhm.
guys think that guys only lose money. No, this is not the saddest part. They like really investing with their emotions because they believe
Yeah,
they have real relationship, and this is very difficult. But mm, like, to understand this is not real, sometimes prefer to some guys like, no, this is not possible, this is real, and they continue for years,
yeah,
believe in this fairy
yeah,
tale, and then frustrate
yeah,
even more afterwards. So yeah, it's good that
yeah.
that's something.
It was almost like Joe got me by the collar and said, "No, it is fake." And then when I sort of looked back
Hmm.
at things that had happened, I thought, "Yeah, it is." Little signs that I'd sort of seen but
Hmm.
discounted, and then looking back at them again, and it was, yeah, definitely,
Hmm.
definitely.
Okay, Mark, I understand this. Guys, you learn your lesson here, guys, with you, and let's move to your good part of the story. Okay. Yeah. So I wonder, Lena was your first introduction with us, right? Yeah.
Yeah, very first.
For sure.
Yeah, very first.
We start to have more and more couples with first introduction. This is just amazing. This is amazing. For me, it's always like, how it's possible? Леночка, вы были у нас только одной женщиной, с которой мы познакомили. Вот, у нас больше не было. И у нас таких пар очень много, просто так много. И это так круто. Это просто говорит о том, что мы что-то делаем правильно, если у нас так много пар складывается с первого свидания. Это даже круче, чем любовь с первого взгляда. Потому что там было 3 на 3, а у нас 1 на 1. И все складывается. Вот. So, when you introduce guys to each other?
It was January. I think it was January the 4th.
January 1st. Last year.
Last January, yeah. So it's just been just over a year.
Just over a year. So, and you guys, start relationship just before these crazy things that happen in Ukraine. How everything happened? Like you start communicating distance, right? But you never come to Ukraine, yeah? Or
No.
Never come.
No.
What happened when war started? What happened?
Well, it was, like I said, it was my birthday, and we'd planned we were going to have a chat. We were going to do a video chat. And then I got a message early in the morning from ELena to say it's happened, that because obviously Ukraine's 2 hours ahead, so it was still very early for me. And then ELena sent a message, and it was, oh, they have done it, have they? A lot of people thought that they weren't going to, and then obviously it happened. So it was right, what we're going to do. And you, with a friend, ELena and a friend were decided they were going to go to Poland, and then it didn't quite work out that day, did it? It was you ended up going to Poland on the train. ELena and her son got on the train from Dnipro. I went to Lviv, and then across to Poland, where you were. Poland 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks in Poland, and then it was a case of ELena had to either stay or move on, find somewhere else to go. So we talked about it, didn't we? And we discussed possible places, and ELena ended up going to Ireland. Because at the time the UK wasn't allowing anybody in, so Ireland was the next best option, and that's what you did, didn't you? You went to Ireland. We got them flights, and that's where they went. Yeah, nothing else. Yeah.
Yeah, because it took time for all countries to create some program, So when it just was fresh and everybody, just like don't know where, just go out and it doesn't matter, And then people I know some people who went to Ireland to react more quickly. Yeah, they was like ready to accept Ukrainian refugees.
Yeah, you went. ELena went fairly early. Was one of the fairly early ones, I think, to go to Ireland. Because I'd been monitoring places that were available, and and noticed Ireland, because we talked about other European countries, Germany and things like that, but we decided Ireland would be the place, didn't we? We decided Ireland, and that's what we did. Got tickets to Ireland, and
so all this time you was in touch, in touch.
Yeah. We've spoken every day since before then. Since I was handed ELena's contact number, we've been in touch every day. And
then how you meet? Where you meet?
I went over to Ireland on a day trip, and spent the day with ELena and her son, and then more or less I came back, and due to work and other situations. I hadn't managed to get out there again, but we decided that we'd try and get visas for them to come here and visit for initially the plan was Christmas time, but it wasn't an easy task getting the visas. It was just having to speak to people because they were querying why they had two addresses. Obviously, a home address in Dnipro and the address as where they're living at the moment. So there's a few phone calls backwards and forwards trying to explain the details. But we got that done, and unfortunately, it was a bit too late for Christmas time. But it came through beginning of the year. So you came here on the 15th.
On 15th, ELena finally come to you, yeah?
Yeah. Unfortunately, they're going home tomorrow. They're going back to Ireland tomorrow. But with the visa they've got, they can visit again. The visa's valid for 6 months. So in and out of the country as many times as they want within the next 6 months. So they're going to come again, aren't you? They're going to come again.
So yeah, it's great. 6 months only. Yeah, you have 6 months, and then you need to extend it.
Then we need to extend it or look at other options. Maybe seeing if we can get them a visa to come and actually stop here. You know, that's the next sort of possibility. But after the 6 months, they can request an extension. So that's always a possibility.
Mark, what do you think now? Of course, with war, it's very bad, but overall, it's much easier to proceed with documents. Yeah, you find it for Ukrainian people.
Yeah, it's some of the websites for applying for visas are not always set up in a way that people with refugee status can apply. So sometimes you need to make that phone call and speak to the agency that you're dealing with for the visas. You could go straight to the government and apply, or you can go through a secondary visa application company. But it's fairly easy because a lot of I know ELena's the same, and she said a lot of her friends when they've left Ukraine, they've took all their personal documents with them. So they've got passports and they've got birth certificates, all in hand. So they've got them with them. So they're not having to then go and look through the house looking for birth certificates and things like that. So in that respect, it's easier. But it just takes a bit of time, but it's fairly straightforward.
Mark, I understand you was quite a bit in distance relationship and you make it up successfully. So I want to ask, what's your tips for guys who is in distance relationship, how to make it successful?
I think sometimes remembering that there's a language barrier and expectations can be different. You as the male in whatever country you might think, well, I have to think, you might have views of what should be happening. I.e., she should be talking to me all the time. But then when you try and get in, but then from the lady's point of view, they're at home, they've still got their home and that to deal with. So it's not always possible. So it's been understanding. Understanding, I think, is a very big thing. When we spoke at the start, we always said if we don't understand what each other's saying, because we use Google and translate that to translate, but if a translation comes back as a bit incorrect, we've had a couple where the translation has come back as something completely different. And I've said to Lena, if it's something that comes back that you don't understand, just ask again and we'll try and rephrase it or for people to understand or for her to understand. Because Google, yeah, it's helpful, but it doesn't always translate things accurately. We've had a few laughs of things that it has translated wrongly. Yeah, so be patient. Be patient. Don't be understanding. Understanding.
Yeah. That's great advice. And actually, I see a lot of our couples didn't make it through in distance because of, men very often have very over expectations about how much he wants to talk to a lady, like she should be available or time or like, and then it just didn't work, it don't work because of that.
Yeah, because when we started talking, at first, ELena was working, so I'd say hello in the morning, we'd talk a little bit in the morning, then we'd be mid-conversation and she would go quiet. And be, oh, what's happened? And it was the fact that she was at work. She'd then have to sometimes just go and do something, but didn't have time to say, I'll be back in a minute or I'll be back later. So it's just understanding that if you don't get a reply quickly, there is other reasons why, and just understanding, I think, is a big one.
Yeah. And my previous interview, guys, if you haven't watched last Saturday,
No, I didn't see last.
And guys, actually, also he managed to have a relationship in distance for 1 year, and I think he said the secret to be successful is to be patient. Yeah, that's for sure. To be understanding about when war happened, they always was not communicating because he has like so many things to figure out. I mean, he was in touch, but he was not like pressure. She has a lot of pressure in her life.
Don't pressure.
Yeah.
When ELena was escaping from Dnipro, I maybe spoke to her once in the morning, and then it wasn't until the following morning that we spoke. But she knew that if she needed to speak to me, she could do. And likewise, I would send her a message, but I wouldn't expect a reply there and then. I'll get a reply when I get a reply. And yeah, it was tough. Worried about what was happening.
But you didn't perceive that way that if ELena don't reply, it means she's not respect you. You didn't perceive it as a personal offense, right?
Nothing like that. No, nothing like that. I understood that.
And that's the key, guys, because sometimes guys like, no, she's rude, she's rude because she's not replying, or У нас проблема, что многие пары ссорятся из-за того, что вот это на расстоянии отношения, и мужчина очень супер, требовательный по тому времени, сколько женщина должна с ним общаться. И вообще не понимает, если у нее личная жизнь, проблемы какие-то, она не может ответить не потому, что он ей не нравится. И многие отношения мужчины расторгаются, потому что она несерьезная, или она короче говоря, его не уважает. Он так это воспринимает. И это большая проблема. Поэтому
у нас не было этой проблемы. Марк всегда с пониманием относился. Если я сказала, что я занята сейчас, это не значит, что я не хочу говорить. Просто какие-то дела.
Да.
Поэтому у нас не было, слава богу.
Я сейчас мужчинам на примере Марка объясняю это и учу их, чтобы они знали, как надо действовать. Вот. Раз мы... I want to ask ELena, since we start to talk about this, what impresses you the most about Mark? Что вам больше всего в Марке нравится?
На английском я, наверное, такое не смогу.
Я переведу.
Мне нравится то, что он надежный. С ним как за каменной стеной. Вот здесь можно расслабиться и просто быть женщиной. Мне это нравится.
The most what impressed ELena in Mark that he is very, very reliable, and she feel like with him like she's behind strong wall, and she just can relax, and this is like be woman, yeah. And actually, guys, I will include the videos that I've done how Ukrainian women rate SMV of men, and my number one in my rating of SMV as being Ukrainian woman was if he's reliable. This is number one. So I can understand and relate completely to Elena's answer. Я делала, как женщины, украинские женщины оценивают, и у меня было номер один, вот надежный он или нет, или он как ветер пригоняет и улетает, ну, туда-сюда, то есть здесь шансов нет. Поэтому 100% понимаю ваш ответ. Вот, спасибо большое. Anything other? Что-то еще?
Нет, остальное все настолько неважно, оказывается. Мне же не 20 лет уже, когда важны какие-то мелочи, которые в 20 лет важны. Сейчас уже, ну, это все не важно. Мне важно было, чтобы моего сына любил и меня любил. Этого достаточно было с головой. Поэтому...
Yeah, and Elena say, you know, when you're 20 years old, you're super demanding on many things, you know, small details, whatever, you know. In time, with age, you become more mature, and then your requirements come to just, you know, this love connection that you have. You don't really require a lot from relationship, you know. We want to be loved, and of course, because Elena's a single mom. Time when she met Mark, of course it was important that he had connection with her son, and I think that's working, right, Mark? How's your relationship with son?
Yeah, we have our moments, don't we? Me and Roman, we have our moments. He teases me and I'll tease him back, and we'll joke with each other. Sometimes he doesn't necessarily understand when I'm joking with him. But generally, yeah, we get on really well. And he's quite enjoyed while they've been here playing on my computer. So he's come and play on the computer. So after we finished here, I've got to go and play some games with him on the computer and that. So.
I see. Yeah, that's great. And how old is he?
15.
15. So
15.
like looks like this age, many our potential clients, they're afraid, like, you know, because teenager can be difficult character, or like, so how it is not with you, not in your case.
No, again, it comes down to I understand that Elena is his mum, and to an extent he has priority. So if Elena needs to go and speak to, you know, when we were talking before, prior to them coming here, Elena would say, "Oh, I'm out with Roma. We've gone somewhere," and he'd be right. That's fine. I'll talk to you later. So it's understanding Elena and Roman's relationship, and I've always said to both of them that they're not joining me. I'm joining them. So I've got to fit in with what they like. So it's that understanding, which understanding that they come together, come as one sort of thing.
Yeah, and I also I relate to, you know, Elena's need also, because I was in the same shoes, being a single mom, and of course for me was like when man wants just to date me, you know, not interested in children. What's the purpose of this dating? You know, like I'm not alone anymore, right? Я была в такой же ситуации, когда я встретила Джозефа, вот моего мужа, да, он тоже, как бы у меня две девочки были, да.
Roman,
с ними отношения очень хорошие, и для меня это было очень важно тоже.
Roman has said to his mum, not direct to me, but he has said to his mum that he thinks I'm cool.
It's the best compliment that teenager can give. I think your experience working with children really works good for you. Yeah, that's great. One right in Ukrainian language, strong like buffalo, like buffalo. They стильный як бик. No, типа strong man. Yes, it's important, of course, for every Ukrainian woman, because it's traditional culture to feel that you have this, you know, strong. As when I wrote my song, it was like written like he's a mountain, you know. like a rock, rock, very strong. So that's great. And yeah, so I also want to, just like I was so surprised when I heard this. So Mark taking Russian lessons. Is it
Yes,
true?
yes.
Oh my
I'm learning
goodness.
Russian, and I'm learning a bit of Ukrainian at the same time.
And Ukrainian as well. This is crazy. And that's I mean this because you love learn languages, or you just feel there is a need and you want to support,
I
Mhm.
I've always been interested in the Cyrillic alphabet anyway. It was always something that fascinated me.
Mhm.
Uh, and I did want to learn Russian years ago, years ago, but it just never happened. Then I found out I've got Russian Ukrainian connections, relatives from years and years ago. So that made me even more. Oh, I want to learn Russian. So I started learning Russian last October. So just before I met Elena, I started learning Russian, and I'm still working on it at the moment. But as far as I'm concerned, or the way I look at it is, how can I expect Elena to learn English if I likewise don't learn Russian? As a balancing, as a joint thing. So, I get laughed at. Roma laughs at me for some of the pronunciation, but it's part of learning.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. I just read here comments, and am I maybe too old? Think Mark had the same sound as and accent as George, formed by.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. Yeah,
um, uh, good for your mate. I plan on learning the language of my future wife. Yeah, you see, that's the thing. I want just to like make point from this, guys who come to Ukraine and say, for example, like she's also looking for marry foreigner. She should learn my culture. She should learn this. She should learn this. Like she should know. You need to prepare your ladies, whatever. Like there is always they put a lot of responsibility as well. They want to put on women, but they just don't understand the basic thing, like to you are a man and you leader in this relationship and you come to Ukraine to conquer her heart, and if you have this kind of um, position when you think that she should be initiative, she should learn how to behave like Western woman, to be more like more show her interest or whatever, will not work. Then you need to date Western woman,
yeah,
if you come to Ukraine, you need to learn how to conquer her heart. And like I see in your example, this is like, this is crazy, like that you learn even Russian language. And I
Mhm.
understand why Elena like have such a great feelings to you, because this is such a big, this is all your action that speak loud about how motivated and how you want to be, how much effort you put in this relationship to make it
Yeah.
work,
I also think that I don't want her to lose her Ukrainian heritage. I don't want her to put any of that to one side. If she wants to, if there's a specific day that she likes to celebrate, then fine. Down to meals. If Lena wants to cook something Ukrainian, then fine by me. I don't mind. I quite like Ukrainian food, so it's quite nice. But again, it's that it's a balance,
yeah.
not being demanding.
Yeah, I think in international marriage, this is very important to have, be open-minded, be more flexible, be more, understanding and patient about each other. Yeah, especially if you have language barrier or something, don't make wrong conclusion quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember how many couples we have, like who broke up just on emotions, and was misunderstanding. Just Google, wrote translating and then
Yeah.
break up. And why you build so long this relationship if you just because of Google Translator,
Hmm.
misunderstanding
Yeah.
break up so easily, to burn everything. So Yeah, and I agree with you. So, guys, you see, this is mentality of successful man. He don't put responsibility on. Even I never thought about this, from this side. What you say, like if she learn my language, why I don't put effort on learning her language? I never even thought about this, because like I feel this is like right, women should learn, But I mean, the way you and this is very cool, that you do. And this is like wow. You have lights in the room, maybe general light, because you can become dark and dark and dark. Soon I think we will not see you. So we will soon, yeah, we will finish like in 10, 15 minutes. Yeah, I just, I just like feel this seeds of wisdom of yours, of your experience. Я хочу просто всю вот эту мудрость от Марка передать следующим ребятам, потому что это очень круто вообще, то, что он делает, как он преподносит. Потому что когда мужчины начинают с нами путь, они начинают рассказывать, что там часто женщины должны учить, как западного мужчину с ним встречаться и все такое. Там куча требований к женщине, а вот они ничего не делают.
Он наоборот насмотрелся кучу роликов у вас.
Мгм.
Я так думаю, наверное, у вас, потому что я не знаю, где он мог еще найти такое, как с украинскими женщинами вести себя, как на первом свидании, как что дарить, что ходить, куда, как приходишь в дом разбываться. Он мне это 100 раз говорит, если вдруг поедем, и я вдруг забуду, ты мне обязательно скажи, чтобы я не забыла твоих родственников разбуться. Многие вещи такие, которые у нас тут нет, а у нас это есть. И вот он, это да, он мне ничего не говорит, вот что он от меня требует. Он мне рассказывает, что он, знает, что у нас нет. Так что от меня никаких требований, от него только.
You see, I don't feel any pressure or demand from Mark, like in relationship that I have to do something. Even like he asks you to remind about some traditions, for example, to take shoes off when he goes to relatives, he do very good his homework, learning about our culture, and implementing what's important, because really we live now in Mexico and we have the same thing, like our daughter, when they go to Mexican house, they take shoes off, but everybody walk in shoes, so this is something deep in culture, and that's funny. But when they come to us, we ask them to take shoes off also, because this is normal where we live, to walk without shoes. This is funny, but okay, let's see what Anna, I assume every good man wants, needs, strongly desires to learn his beloved language. You see, I'm happy if if you have this kind of attitude, because I see that a lot of men, they like just I was surprised with this like way of Mark present the reason, because I never thought about this. Yeah, I mean, I never request this from Joe because it's very difficult for him. His top, I don't know, 100 words, and I'm happy when he uses it because it's very fun. It's fun, but I cannot demand this from him, right? Okay, let's read this. Is it great to also learn the language of your future wife? But currently, I'm being told by Ukrainian girls and that I should learn Ukrainian, and they hate everything that is Russian. It's different. Yeah. What do you think, Mark?
I'd already started learning Russian. ELena is Russian speaker primarily. But ELena said she was using more Ukrainian. So I said, well, okay, then I'll start and have a look at Ukrainian as well. So I've not done Ukrainian in the same depth as I've been doing Russian, but there's a lot of similarities between the language, and then there's a lot of differences. But again, I'm going to try and do bits and pieces of both of them. Even if I only pick up words here or there, it's a start. It's a start, and you pick up more as you go along. So,
Let's ask Елена also about this question, да? Елена, вот спрашивают, что сейчас вот ему украинские девушки сказали, чтобы он учил только украинский, потому что они ненавидят все вот, русский язык.
Ну, сейчас есть такая тенденция в Украине, у нас тоже вот. Я даже мои знакомые, которые всю жизнь разговаривали на русском, я из Днепра, поэтому все на русском в основном этот регион. Но сейчас все быстро перешли на украинский, потому что мы его знаем, просто мы его не использовали. Ну, как бы, даже я здесь, находясь уже за границей, мы тоже начали больше говорить на украинском языке, чем на русском. Оно просто уже, наверное, даже не из-за того, что ненавидишь, а просто принципиально, наверное. Ну, потому что все, что происходит, оно не проходит даром, и как бы мы уже тоже перестраиваемся. Я вот смотрю в отеле, ну вот где мы живем, все украинцы, и даже те, кто видно, слышно, что говорили на русском, а сейчас пытаются разговаривать на украинском. Поэтому, ну, украинский, ну, чем не язык? У нас абсолютно нормальный язык, поэтому можно какая разница, какой учить, русский или украинский, так выбор делает каждый человек лично. Можно параллельно учить. Ну, то есть это как бы... Я не знаю даже, что сказать. Это же как бы выбор каждого человека.
Да.
Просто среди украинцев, да, действительно, сейчас... Я не скажу, что прям все заговорят на украинском, но многие себя ломают, при том, что мы все думаем на русском языке.
Yeah, there is a lot of parts in Ukraine that was originally speaking only Russian. Like, for example, Elena from Dnipro, I'm from Odessa region. We also all my life speak Russian. And then I was living in Kiev. It was mixed, Ukrainian and Russian together. But there is definitely this tendency now that many Ukrainian people who speak Russian before now switch to Ukrainian. In order to support Ukrainian culture, I don't know, like against what's going on. But anyway, it's personal choice of everyone. You cannot, push somebody to learn Russian or Ukrainian. It's personal choice. And anyway, like even now we speak with Elena, we speak Russian language, and like I personally say that I cannot add that I hate Russian people or Russian. I speak to a lot of Russian people who live here in Mexico, and they help me a lot with different things, who live here for a long time, who left Russia when they was like 20 years ago and never like came back there, so I have to hate them. Like, I don't have this position, I believe in certain people, and like I cannot do majority, if like to say that all Russia bad people, so I believe in this. So so it depends on, I don't know, on certain people, on your lady, what language she speak. Even she can be Ukrainian, but she continue, when war started, she continue a Russian language, so it's depends on your partner. And if it will be for her support, if you will start to learn Ukrainian, you can do it, right?
Exactly, yeah. If it helps Elena, then fine. I have no problem which language she wants to speak. It's just my job to help her, support, and do what I can. And if I'm learning a bit, then that's fine.
Yeah, we have like deep questions. So I want to ask you about your 3 biggest fears before you start to look for wife in Ukraine. What there was, and how you feel now about them?
To be honest, the only real fear I had was not getting scammed. Getting scammed again. Getting scammed again. That was the biggest. I can't say.
How you feel now about this? How you feel now about this?
It's not a problem. No problem. I know Elena's nothing like that.
Yeah.
She came from a good agency. I know, and I know her well enough now to know that she's not like that. I knew instantly anyway that she wasn't that kind of that kind of girl. So yeah.
Yeah, guys asking. I was speaking Russian with Elena right now. So I said, this is not my... I don't feel that I hate myself when I speak Russian. Я не чувствую себя, что я ненавижу себя, когда я говорю на русском. Это тоже часть того, с чем я выросла. Вот. Ну, со своим братом, например, он переключился на украинский, я с ним говорю на украинском, да. Дети говорят мы тоже на двух языках, ну, это украинский. Короче, когда получается, говорим на украинском. Если переходит на русский, переходим, ничего, мы же себя за это не убиваем. Thank you very much, Mark. And this is true. Our fears, they will always hold us back. And the only way how to overcome them is just move forward, but doing the right steps, doing your homework to make sure that, to make your trip as safe as possible, not trapped again in the same bad experience. But anyway, there is not other way to overcome fears, right?
Yeah.
And I want to ask, how was your coach Luba? If she was helpful in this journey for you?
Oh, Luba, fantastic. Luba, yeah, fantastic. I'm still in touch with Luba now. I was in touch with her before the war. And when all that, and I still talk to her now. Send her the odd message. If I don't hear anything from her, I'll just say hello. How are you? How's your family doing? And maybe send her the odd picture here or there. So a couple of times I've asked her questions, but generally I just stay in touch and say hello. And I tell her what's happening and that, and I know that if I'm doing something wrong, she'd tell me, no, don't do that. But no, it's just nice to have somebody else to talk to.
Yeah, it's very important to have this support, especially when you have international dating experience, different cultures, somebody, friend who can support you in this journey, that's for sure. Yeah, and I would like to ask you if you're happy with your investments with Magic Guarantee, and if you're happy.
Yes, very, extremely.
Why? And why and how did you choose us?
Like I said earlier on, I came across the YouTube site first. Watched some of the older videos. Watched some of the newer ones. I'm not always regularly watching because I'm quite often busy on the weekend. Then, like I say, I spoke to Joe a while ago. Just got chatting with Joe. I'd seen somebody that I wanted to speak to him about. So we had a chat and I was telling him what was happening with me, and he was, going on about it being PPL. And at first I was, no, he's wrong, but then I just suddenly thought, hang on a minute, let me stop. I listened, had a look, wrong. And then he said, come and have a look at our website. So I did. Looked at the website, registered, or partly registered. It was a while before I completed the full registration. And I meticulously went through the database, having a look. And actually, ELena was one of the first ones on the database that I made a note of as well. So, I looked at the database months before I actually finished signing up. Then I signed up, and the progress there, fine, Luba helped. And it was good. It was nice. It was interesting.
Thank you, Mark. I lost you for a second. Yeah, something with internet. Thank you very much. And how would you rate our services from 1 to 10 on a scale from 1 to 10?
10.
10. So you would recommend us to your single friends? Thank you very much. Yeah. And I just want to ask question. about if you feel, guys, that dreams come true. It's for both of you. Мечты сбываются.
Yeah.
Да. Мечты сбываются. You believe so, yeah. You encourage guys to believe their dreams, right? Yeah, I just want to ask one more. Like, I just not sure how much time we have. I have a question. You know that I see some of our couples, they struggle with their relationship in distance, and some when they actually meet. So when you meet, you start to like now, yeah, experience life together in one apartment. So if this, it's called in Russian "byt," some activity that you do together, it was not difficult for you. You hear like how it was for you guys.
It was not difficult. I knew ELena wanted to do things together, and we've got similar interests anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been doing things that we wanted to do together. You know, visit places while she's been here. You know, took her to the coast because she quite like being at the sea. We went to the coast, didn't we? And she enjoyed that. So it's just doing things together.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It might not be something that I necessarily like, but it's taking into account that it's something that ELena likes. So okay, if ELena wants to do that, then come on, then let's go there. Let's do what you want to do. So ELena asked if I could find a Orthodox church for her to go and have a look at.
Mm-hmm.
So found one, and we went to have a look last week.
Mm-hmm.
So it's doing things together that we've tried to do, and I've taken her to places that I like, and generally ELena's like them as well. So
dreams come
hello, I wanted to say hello to our happy couple. Hey, Mark. Hey, ELena. Hello, hello.
Feels like I've known Joe for ages.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Finally, Joe, where he's short. So
and look at
join.
you now. I just wanted to say personally, my heartfelt congratulations to both you, Mark and ELena. You know, whenever another couple finds love, finds each other, and we fix two lonely hearts in this world, it really brings the ultimate joy to Anne and I. So congratulations to you both.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Мы очень рады за вас.
Я понял, Эленочка?
Понял. Ты поняла? Я понял. Ты понял.
Я уже привыкла.
Это нормально.
So, ELena, can I ask you how do you feel living in Scotland?
Very well.
Yes. Great. That's great. Mark, I wanted to ask you, kind of rephrase the question that Anna just asked you. I want to ask you, rephrase it a little bit different way, because I was kind of fishing for a little bit different answer. But basically, everybody knows Match Guarantee is the Rolls Royce of matchmaking. Mm-hmm. It's not cheap, right? So I want to ask you, your investment in finding your half through Match Guarantee, was it worth it, and why?
Yes. Yeah, it was worth it, definitely. If you want the genuine, if you're talking about a product, or if you want the genuine product, you have to generally pay more. It's better to pay more than go to these PPLs and get scammed, and you're wasting your money then anyway. Whereas now I know it's not been wasted money. I've got ELena here. So
Gorka. Do you know what that means? Do you know what that means, Mark?
Yes, I do. So near.
Maybe we'll set an example. Okay.
Анна, а он уже знает у вас про Горько, да?
Да, у нас свадьба была, конечно. Что-то горькое делали, да. В Украине мы со всеми традициями. У нас вообще было две традиции, и канадские, и украинские.
Ух ты, круто.
Вообще классно было.
But thanks for that, Mark. I mean, it's It's simple, but it's not easy, really, this journey. It's simple, but it's not easy. I'm about to go live now with one of our new matchmakers, John, on the channel with I think he's from Los Angeles, but scammed $50,000 from 3 different agencies. And I forget how many years, but I think it's maybe 4 years or something like that. But it's sad, but these stories are the commonplace. And the true love stories like what you have now, it's rare. It's very far and few between. That's the honest. And we're just really trying to change that here at Match Guarantee as best we can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But no, I won't be without her.
Yes.
Interviewing guys and successful clients, I just see that already tendency, what's and maybe I will cut just from each piece of video, because there is a certain tendency of man character, and his attitude towards being in this journey, and this is obvious. And guys today saw all this, piece of wisdom from
just
from
to add to it. When I put in my initial list of ladies' names that I would like to have talked to, and did all the paperwork, the little questionnaire, and I got one response. I got one response from my first lot, and it was ELena. And
you don't need a lot. That's the thing.
Wow, so you got one, Mark. I didn't know this. You got 1 from 10 on your 10 intro package.
Well, actually, it was 15. I put 15 names forward, and I got 1.
Wow.
So it was ELena.
Oh, that's an amazing story. I love this. You see, I mean, it just shows to go you, right? I mean, karma, fate. I mean, you only were looking for one wife, right?
Yeah. And okay, I did put. Locve did say, "Well, we'll try again. Put some on. See, is there any other girls?" So we tried again, and okay, I then got 4 who said they would, but it was after I'd spoken to ELena, and after our conversation, I had a chat with Locve, and I did say to Locve, "No, I'm going to stick with ELena and see how it goes."
Woohoo! Let me ask you, Mark. How did you know that ELena was the one and you didn't want to date any other girls? Because you got 4 more.
It was. She was very chatty. She actually complained that I didn't talk enough. But it was the way she would smile. It was a talking. She would laugh and joke, and to be talking between Locve and ELena, and to be laughing, and it was just that. And it was just when she spoke, it was always like eye contact. Okay, out to a camera, but it was looking directly at the camera, and it was just comfortable. It was just nice to talk to her, and yeah, talking to Locve afterwards, we talked about what had happened and how the conversation had gone, and decided, it was I was going to talk to ELena and see how things went.
Time is the most valuable currency, and this is the thing with our guys, how quickly they achieve their goal with us, how quickly it happened to them, how many couples we have from the first introduction. This is crazy. And
we first spoke in January, and I think it was end of March, beginning of April, when I went to see her in Ireland. So,
and I just want to add, because I didn't know this, that you have you have one answer, because sometimes we get client who choose 10 ladies, he got 3 yes, and he's frustrated and he don't want to proceed. Like he feels he's frustrated with result. And maybe your story will understand that it's not about number of how many yeses you get. It's about right person that you meet,
The way I looked at it was, ELena had been on my list all the time. I'd had a list for a while, and I was chopping and changing, and things, new girls coming in, and having a new look at the list. But ELena always stayed there. But the fact that ELena was on the list, why feel betrayed, you've got one. You're only looking for one. Because Luba said to me, I don't know if Luba was expecting me to be a bit put off because I'd only got the one response. And Luba said, do you still want to speak to ELena? And I said, of course I still want to speak to ELena. I'll still speak to her. And, I could have quite easily said, no, I'll wait for I'll wait and see what happens later. But I didn't. And I would have missed.
You would have missed? By the way, guys, do you have a date yet? Just asking.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Well, yeah. So technically, the first time we met, we went out for a meal, but it was the three of us, me, ELena, and her son. So from day one, I met her son. Whereas normally, you say if you don't meet the children and the parents until a bit later on, I met the son the first day. And the first time we went out, and the three of us went out for a meal. So
you're marrying the son? I'm confused.
No. Being sarcastic.
Sorry, Mark.
Yes, I know what you like.
Listen, I wanted to say to you, mostly to you, Mark, but actually to ELena and to Mark, that I want you to be just really clear that please feel free to reach out to us, because even when you're married, it's not, it's the journey, it's not the destination that's important. So even
don't know, Mark.
even Tia, пожалуйста. even you're engaged to be married. Once you're married, Anечка,
we will need Mark's
пожалуйста.
help. You tell you.
Okay, take two. What I'm trying to say is that please feel free to reach out to us, just to talk, just to say, hey, Joe, I wanted to bend your ear on this topic or whatever. Anytime, even when you're married, we're always open for you, and ELena to Anya as well, because the truth is, once you put a ring on the finger, doesn't mean you've arrived at perfection. And marriage is just constant, compromise and working on understanding each other deeper and better. Because I was just, it's we had a divorce in the Match Guarantee family last year with a client, and it was very sad. It broke both Anna and I's heart, and it was all around miscommunication, in our opinion. And so I just really encourage you, take your time, get to know each other, and we're always here to help.
That's what's going to. They have a visa for 1.5 year, and Lena is going to come back a few more times. Yeah.
So there's no engagement yet. There's no engagement yet. Not yet.
No engagement, no baby on the way, because
we're just taking
it slow, like a good Scotsman,
Mark,
I'm part Scotsman myself.
Mark, very wise man, and what ELena told me, that what she the most appreciate about him, that she feel like he's like a rock, that is very reliable. And they say this is in my number SMV, SMV number one request from lady.
Very important.
This is the thing. She said, I realize I don't need nothing more. If this man, what he's trying.
And he's more handsome than a monkey, so ELena's good, right?
You
know that expression, Mark, in Ukraine, they say that, right? Okay. I'm glad you know. Okay, well, thank you. I'm going to have to steal Anya away from them now, because I'm 8 minutes past my live time now. We wish you all the best. Happiness,
thank you very much.
happiness galore in your future.
We'll talk to you again soon.
I see, guys, right? Joe can call Mark for advice when Anya is pissed off at Joe.
We're one big family. I haven't arrived at perfection by any means.
No.
Maybe I can call Mark. Mark, I'm in the doghouse. How you doing? How's it? Okay, honey. I'll let you say goodbye to everyone.
There is one more question. Just last question. Were you able to find any other international couples to be friends with? Was that all helpful to you as a couple? were you able to find? Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You have international friends, couples? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we've got one of my Russian teachers is Belarusian, so and she lives just down the road. So we met her and her partner for lunch the other day.
Great.
So yeah, we've got some friends.
We have many guys who come and register with us because they know some couple, their friends, wife Ukrainian and man, Western man, so they want the same. That's what normally it's opposite. First they meet couple and then they want the same, so they come to us. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts and all viewers. This was a lot of great wisdom that guys, I hope, learn from you, because this is не могу слов подобрать, как классно. Спасибо большое, Леночка, что вы согласились и пришли, и вообще это очень круто, потому что мне хочется настоящие кейсы, где мужчины могут выучить от мужчины, потому что, чтобы я 1000 раз не говорила, 1000 видео сделала, когда они слышат это от мужчины, и что это работает, то вот это самый лучший способ их научить. Нам таких женихов подготавливать, как Марк. Thank you very much. Yeah. Wish you all the best, and we will be in touch, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you. So bye-bye. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.